I'm going to choose the order of the books in the series that have come out. I feel that's the only fair way to do that. So Michelle, I'm going to ask you first to give us kind of an overview of your background, because I never summarized anybody else's background or anyone else's book. So if you would go first, and then Samantha, we want to hear about your background as well.
Oh, well, thank you for having us here, Rob. My name is Michelle Jabès Corpora. I am here because I'm the author of the first book in the American Horsetail series called The Dust Bowl. My background is in publishing. I worked for HarperCollins, Green Willow for about 5 years in New York, and then after that, and since then, I've been working for a book packager called Working Partners, making all kinds of stories for young readers. But I am also a ghostwriter, so I've written 5 novels and a long-running middle grade series that I cannot tell you about, or else I'll have to kill you, so sorry. But most recently, other than The Dust Bowl, this year I also wrote a book called The Fog of War, which is the 8th novel in the True Adventures series from Pushkin. And The Fog of War is about the amazing Martha Gellhorn, who was a war correspondent in World War II. So that's me.
The books that you've ghostwritten, of course, are the Banneker Bones books. Now the truth can finally be revealed. And Samantha, over to you. What does the esteemed audience need to know about you before we get going here?
I'm like Michelle. Thank you so much for having us. I'm so excited to be doing this. And so my name is Samantha M. Clark, and I'm the author of 3 books now, which is pretty amazing and surreal, because I honestly never thought that one of my books would get published, but now I have 3 out. The Boy, the Boat, and the Beast, which was my debut that came out in 2018 with Simon & Schuster. And then this year I had 2 books that came out. Arrow, which was also out by Simon & Schuster, about a boy, an 11-year-old boy who, with a limb difference, who is the only human who's been living in a magically hidden rainforest. And then the outside arid dry world kind of infiltrates it, and Arrow has to save his home. And then finally, which came out a week later, the 2nd book in the American Horsetail series, Hollywood, which I'm so excited about. It's the first book that I've written that is part of a series, and just it's been a very different experience, so much fun, and it's been so great sharing this with Michelle as well. Just fantastic. I'm really excited about it.
You have 2 books come out a week apart. Is that a curse or a blessing because you get all the promotion all at once, or is it just too much and it would be better to give them some space?
It was surreal. It wasn't really planned that way. Originally, the American Horsetails book was supposed to come out before. The Arrow has, The Boy, the Boat, and the Beast came out June 22nd, and Simon & Schuster set up Arrow to come out at pretty much the same date, although in a different year. So 3 years later, it was set for June, for June 26th. So then we heard that the American Horsetails books had been delayed and were coming out had been moved from, I think they were originally in May, and they'd been moved to June. And then I found out that the date was going to be, literally a week after the Arrow, Arrow was coming out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know, how this is going to work, but it's going to be busy and it's going to be fun. And it was a lot of fun. I kind of felt bad for my family, because I was constantly like, here's all of this book news. And then I have a chapter book series that's coming out, that's launching next year. So right after these 2 books came out, then that was announced. And so I actually posted it on Facebook and said, okay, I promise you guys, this is the last time you'll hear about book stuff from me for just a little while, but here's some more good news. So it felt like there was all this good news kind of all happening at the same time, but it's all good news and fun, and it's been amazing. Like, I did one event where I was able to sign both Arrow and Hollywood, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, I'm sure in a long and successful writing career, there's never going to be a couple of week stretches where it's just bad news.
Yeah, hopefully that's true. Hopefully. And when you've got when you've got books coming out from different publishing houses, you don't have control over when they're going to come out. But my hope is that when I'm promoting Arrow, that the readers who are discovering Arrow, if they like Arrow, they will go to my website, and then they'll learn about the American Horse Tales book through that, and find both Michelle's and my American Horse Tales book at the same time. So my hope is that the two books can, kind of find new readers, each by themselves, and bring new readers to each other. I do believe that happens. Hope I'm right.
We could be making that happen for a esteemed audience right now. Where should they go to visit your website?
It's SamanthaMClark.com, with the M, because there's a lot of Samantha Clarks, so I had to put in the M so that I stood out a little bit more. So SamanthaMClark.com.
And Michelle, where can folks visit to find out more about you?
Very similar, MichelleJCorpora.com.
And then, of course, you've got the two books coming out this year. Are either of you in a position where you can announce your future projects? Samantha, are you able to tell us the title of the chapter book series that's coming?
Yes, it's called Gemstone Dragons. It's coming out with Bloomsbury. The first two books are coming out. I'm not sure the date yet or the month. I know that it's winter next year, and they're being illustrated by Janelle Anderson, who is absolutely brilliant. I've seen early sketches, and she's amazing. And the first two books, the Gemstone Dragons series, is about these adorable dragons who have a gemstone and a superpower that kind of goes with their gemstone. And they live in Gemstone Valley with other magical creatures like unicorns and gnomes and goblins and fairies. And the dragons, protect all of the magical creatures in Gemstone Valley. They live in Sparkle Cave in the middle of Mineral Mountain, and they have lots of adventures, always, where their friends, their friendship usually saves them in the end. And the first two books, Opal which funnily enough is my birthstone. Opal is going to be she's the lead of the book one, which is Opal's, oh gosh, I'm blanking on the name. Book two is Ruby's Fiery Mishap. Oh, Opal's Time to Shine is book one, and then Ruby's Fiery Mishap is book two. So I'm very excited about them. They're fun. They've been fun to work on.
Congratulations, that is tremendous.
Thank you.
And so that begs the question. We're going to talk quite a bit about Hollywood, because I'm curious how it would be to write a book with no dragons, no fantasy elements of any kind. That puts you a little bit out of your element. But if you're writing a book about superpowers, I make it my business to ask, if you could only have one superpower, what superpower would you want?
I've always kind of said that I'd love to have invisibility, but after writing Opal's book, I'm not really sure if I'd want that anymore. Like I used to, as a kid, friends and I, we used to ask each other that same question all the time, and invisibility was hands down always my first choice. But one of the things in Opal's story is that she gets to be seen and learns to be seen, and I'm not sure if if I want to be invisible anymore. I don't know. I was very shy as a kid, which is why I think I always wanted to be invisible, But I don't know. I'm not really sure. Michelle, do you have a superpower that you would like to be?
I always feel like the one that I choose is lame, but it is what I would choose. I would probably choose healing power.
Oh, I like healing power. That's a good one. I think that says a lot about you, though, Michelle.
I always think in my mind that like the conclusion of having a healing power, though, is like bad, because everybody in the world is like, coming to you, and I'm not sure if that's the way things should work, but I would still want to be able to do that.
I like that healing power. Yeah, people will be coming to you with the wart on their big toe. You know, can you take off my wart? You'd have to set some good boundaries there. No wart taking off.
Well, it's the whole like playing God thing, you know. There's like a whole
That's true.
story there of like,
Yeah, that's
although
true.
I guess all superpowers is a bit like playing God. So
Yeah, that's true. And Robert, what would yours be?
Well, I think both yours sound pretty good. I was just thinking about what a writerly superpower it would be to want to be invisible, because then you could really eavesdrop on conversation,
Right.
all sorts of character details gathered up. I've always thought
in me, I guess.
it as well would be my choice, but it would be just for me. None of this, none of this sharing with others. Just I'll be immortal. Anytime something bad happens to me, Wolverine style, I'll come right back. It's no problem. I don't have to worry anymore.
Way to go with it, yeah.
Can you heal my wart? I so wish I could, but no.
I can heal my
own my warts.
I can only heal myself. Sorry.